All right. Hello, everyone. So this morning, August 1st, let's take a look at the current situation. All right. This morning, August 1st, let's analyze the monthly candlestick to see how it closed, everyone. So this morning, we can see that BTC closed the monthly candlestick as a green candle, right? A green candle with quite strong upward momentum. And we can see that the highest it reached was around 67,000. And currently, we can see that today the monthly candle closed as a Marubozu candle. The current price is at 62,967. And we can see that with a monthly candle like this, there is a very high probability that BTC will continue to rise. And we expect that this month, BTC will test the 68,000 zone and possibly even higher, up to 70,000. We are very hopeful that in this August, BTC will perform more positively and we will see BTC reach somewhere around $70,000. That's the momentum of the candle the month. But before it reaches the $68,000 or $70,000 mark, will there be any downward corrections? So I really hope that before it reaches the $68,000 or $70,000 zone, I expect that BTC will still have a correction down to somewhere around 61,000, everyone. That means when it closes this candle, it tends to retest its support zone. So I'm still expecting that my first take profit, as I mentioned in my previous analysis videos, is at the 61.8K zone, and the second take profit is at 61K. I still expect it will reach those levels. After that, it will continue to rise again with very strong momentum towards the 68,000 and 70,000 zones. And let's see how today's daily candle closes, everyone. Today, the daily candle closed with very strong bearish momentum. In the previous analysis videos, I already analyzed this for everyone. So BTC has already moved up to the 65,300 zone. It has met the conditions to form a top on the H4 time frame. Here, let's review this together, everyone. Earlier, I mentioned to you all that we can see a downtrend in BTC here with lower highs and lower lows. And we can see that the next point here is down below. This is the Elliott wave, the sequence of lower highs and lower lows that BTC could reach. And earlier, I shared with everyone that this top is not necessarily the highest peak it can form. And its next peak is somewhere around 65,000 to 65,500, and it has already reached 65,400. This is the qualifying peak for waves 3 and 4, and right now it is moving in wave 4 to 5. And we can see that for this wave 4 to 5, our first target is 61,800. The second target is 61,000, and I think it will reach those levels. Yesterday, you saw that our BTC reached 62,470, right? But it still hasn't hit our target yet. And if this spot is its bottom, then it doesn't really make sense yet. According to BTC's pattern of lower highs and lower lows, its next bottom should be somewhere around 61,800 or 61,000 for it to make sense, right? Just like I shared with everyone before, this peak here wasn't really reasonable. So when it dropped all the way down to the 63,300 area, it went back up to 65,400, right? And its next bottom here still doesn't make sense yet. But this morning on August 1st, with the price currently at 62,970, will it drop straight down to the 61,800 area or 61,000, or will it go back up? In my opinion, at this point, we should observe on the H1 time frame. On the H1 time frame, it's still moving down toward our take profit targets, which are 61,800 and 61,000. But this morning, there's a high chance we'll see a slight rebound from Bitcoin. At this point, if BTC drops straight down to the 61,000 area, it wouldn't make sense. It should go up somewhere to retest the upper area first. That means it will go up to retest around 63,600 to 63,800. In the 63,600 to 63,800 zone, I think that's where it will rebound. And after it rebounds, it will continue to drop back down to 61,800 and 61,000. I still have high hopes that this wave can be completed because this area still can't be considered its next bottom yet. This could be called a peak, right? At 65,400, that could be considered its next peak. But if a bottom is formed here, it wouldn't make sense yet. If this wave is considered the fourth or fifth wave, then it doesn't make sense yet. So this morning, my expectation was that BTC would rebound to around the 63,600 to 63,800 zone. After that, it would continue to drop to 61,800 for the first target and 61,000 for the second target. I really expect that it will retrace to these two zones, and after it returns to these areas, either 61,800 or 61,000, I still expect it will have the momentum to rise again. That means it has completed its so-called lower highs and lower lows wave with 3 waves already, right? If it can return to around 61,000 to 61,800, I think that's the zone with enough conditions for it to continue rising. And for this next rise, I think BTC, as we see on the monthly candle, could reach the level of 68,000 to 70,000. So in the next zone, we can open long positions, which is 61K or 61K8. If it comes back here and meets the conditions, we will open long positions and target very high zones, 68K to 70K. Everyone, okay? So alongside that, what about USDTD, everyone? Our USDTD is still in an uptrend, right? An uptrend with higher highs and higher lows. So as you can see, yesterday USDTD went up to 8.6%, but that's not enough for it to be considered as starting to decline yet, everyone. And if this third wave is complete, meaning this fourth and fifth wave, then it needs to reach 8.8%. In the short term, we expect that USDTD will drop back to the 8.5% area. After that, it will continue to move up to the 8.8% area to complete its wave structure with a pattern of higher highs and higher lows, everyone. If USDTD drops to 8.5%, then our BTC will rebound to the 63.6 thousand to 63.8 thousand area. At that point, it will continue to drop to the 61K to 61.8K area, right? Because if it can rebound to this 8.5% area, there's a high chance it will keep moving up to complete its wave structure at the 8.8% area. And when USDTD is at this 8.8% area, our BTC should be somewhere around 61.8 thousand and even deeper at 61,000. Everyone take note. That's my analysis of BTC. So what about ETH? As for ETH, take a look at this, everyone. If we look at ETH on the daily candle, it's still within its support zone. Yeah, ETH is still in its support area at 1,866, right? And if we look at ETH on the H4 time frame, it's still maintaining a structure of higher highs and higher lows. But right here, there's a trend forming in this area around the 1,860 zone. What kind of trend is it showing? It still hasn't managed to break through. We can see that ETH has tried quite a few times already, but it still hasn't been able to break above the 2,000 zone. If it continued to form a pattern of higher highs and higher lows, then in this area, it should have already moved up to the 2,000 zone. But it still couldn't go up. It only managed to reach somewhere around 1,930 to 1,940 before dropping back down here. And this area here, if this so-called 1,866 zone can't hold for a while longer, then I think it will drop. It will drop to somewhere around 1,800. Because if it can't continue forming the structure of higher highs and higher lows, then this area will be broken. So what does that mean? It means it will start forming a structure of lower highs. At that point, ETH will drop to deeper zones like 1,800, 1,760, and 1,720, everyone. So we need to keep an eye on this area. This support zone is called its red zone at 1,860. It's considered a pretty strong support area. This is also a solid support zone. The third wave of BTC is in the 61K to 61.8K zone. If it goes back up and ETH still holds strong here, meaning it stays solid at 1,866, then we'll soon see ETH surpass the 2,000 mark. BTC, on the other hand, drops to 61K to 61.8K. If it can't hold this zone, then ETH will drop to the 1,800, 1,760, or even 1,720 area. That's it. Everyone, okay? So we need to watch ETH very closely. Let me repeat, if BTC drops to 61,000 to 61,800, but ETH can still hold this area, meaning its support zone is still holding strong, then what will we see? When BTC rises again, ETH will surpass 2,000 and possibly go much higher. But if BTC drops to 61,000 to 61,800 and ETH cannot hold this area, then we will see ETH fall to the next zones, 1,800, 1,760, and 1,720. Everyone, please take note. So we have to watch this area to see if it can hold in the coming period, especially if BTC continues to decline. Yesterday, when BTC dropped to 62,500, we saw that ETH still held this area quite well. If it can hold out even longer, then soon we'll see it rise to 2,000, 2,040. Everyone, please note, basically, we still shouldn't short ETH because it's still in an uptrend, right? And it's currently in this support zone. If BTC has the potential to rise again, then we should look for a long entry around here, everyone. For example, if this H4 candle closes as a bullish candle, we can open a long position and take profit up here at 1936 and 1980. Everyone, if the H4 candle of ETH closes as a bullish candle, we can see that it will likely move up to the 1930 and 1980 zones again. If we enter a long position, we should set our stop loss down here, everyone, below this point, right? You can set the stop loss at 1,838, everyone. That's my analysis view on ETH and BTC for this morning session. Today is the weekend, so it's highly likely there won't be much volatility, so we need to keep an eye on it. If you find my analysis helpful, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to receive my new videos every day. All right, thank you everyone.